The brain is organized to reflect everything you've experienced in life, with each interaction shaping your neural pathways, forming memories that lock you into familiar patterns. Those in power understand this deeply by controlling the external world through media, education, and social structures. They ensure that most of us remain stuck thinking in the past, repeating the same mental programs shaped by previous experiences. When we live repetitive lives, working the same jobs, consuming the same information, and interacting with the same systems, our thoughts, actions, and feelings are subtly manipulated. Our outer world, controlled by those in power, dictates our inner reality, keeping us focused on survival rather than growth. This conditioning ensures that we stay reactive and fearful, unable to break free from this cycle without realizing something within ourselves must be greater than the forces that shape our environment. In this way, systems of control maintain their grip, using our own brains writing against us, reinforcing the belief that we cannot change, trapping us in outdated patterns that serve their agendas. And I want to bring a message to you today that will help you to break yourself free from these systems, to recognize that there's something within you that is urging you to break it, to recognize that you are a glitch in the matrix, that you've incarnated here to raise all this energy, vibrations, and ground the new realizations, really implement them and break the old patterns. As Noam Chomsky, the famous linguist and social critic, said, "The smart way to keep people passive and obedient is to strictly limit the spectrum of acceptable opinion, but allow very lively debate within that spectrum. Even encourage the more critical and dissident views. That gives people the sense that there's free thinking going on, while all the time the presupposition of the system are being reinforced by the limits put on the range of the debate." Another psychologist said that the environment shapes people's actions and thoughts to such a degree that they may remain unaware of how much they're influenced. Even Friedrich Nietzsche said something so powerful. He said, "Man is more an artist than he realizes. He shapes himself and the world through his own illusions. But when these illusions are imposed on him, they become his prison." So once you begin to follow your inner, deeper inspiration, intuition, or calling, everything starts to shift. You start experiencing this, what we call glitches in the matrix, because synchronicities start appearing. The right person comes, something within you awakens that just takes you to a whole new direction. Suddenly you want to maybe quit your job, or you want to separate from certain people, or you just want to do things completely differently, and suddenly you start waking up, recognizing how much you've been truly living in a certain illusion that was imposed onto you, that was just a program. And you've recognized, okay, I can actually create my own reality. So as you learn new things, like new knowledge, something that inspires you, something that wakes you up, and you start applying it consistently, your brain begins rewiring itself, breaking the old habitual patterns that kept you trapped in the past. This disruption feels like a glitch in reality, because suddenly what once seemed fixed or inevitable starts to bend. The external world no longer holds the same grip over your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Instead, as you connect with a higher purpose that usually comes from this inner inspiration or a sense of calling, like When you wake up and you recognize, oh, I want to become an artist, I want to become an entrepreneur, I want to become a kind person, I want to help others, whatever that is for you, it will feel like a higher purpose. And I know so many of you are right now already in this phase where you're following this higher purpose. Your inner world starts to create the outer reality, not the other way around. It starts to feel like you became a creator here. You start experiencing these glitches, these synchronicities. You start seeing numbers. You start meeting right people. You come across the right book. You come across the right video, like maybe this video that you're watching today, maybe the painting you're watching today will bring to you a symbol that will be like a synchronicity for you. That often happens. I'm an artist, and you can find all of my art on our page, AttractPassion.com, and see if any of it resonates with you. So the thing is that those in power, whoever they are, you don't need to obsess over them. Rather obsess over you, become who you came here to be. Those in power thrive on keeping people focused on survival and fear, and we know that, right? Because this keeps you predictable and controllable. But when you break free of this programming, when you stop responding to the same stimuli and start acting from a place of growth and curiosity, like a little kid, right? You want to grow, you're inspired to grow, and you have this curiosity for the new, for the unknown. When you do that, the system begins to lose its control over you. Now you are at the phase, like, so many people call break free from the matrix or escape the matrix. It's truly more than anything, it's a mental system that we break free from, and we recognize there's something deeper within us, and there's something higher than just our intellect. So as your new knowledge, whatever you've started learning, and consistent repetition of it, consistent implementation of it, through action, align with your deeper purpose, like whatever you truly wanted to do for your growth and for the expansion of your goals, you no longer reflect the old reactive mindset and emotional reactions. Instead, your actions are now driven by vision, inspiration, and intuition, forces that empower you to shape your life on your terms. That is the key to these positive glitches in reality, where you start to experience what you've intended. I will give you steps how to do it so you can break free from this old mental and emotional imprisonment, and you fully embrace that vision of yours, that sense of purpose, and find the alignment so we can take action towards where you want to go. So the more you tune into this intuitive guidance, the more you notice reality itself begins to morph. You start attracting different experiences, like I said, new opportunities, and even people who align with your evolved mindset. So many of you are going through this right now, right? Noticing that everything is aligning. The outer world starts reflecting your internal transformation, and by following your intuition and calling, you step out of the cycle of reactive survival and into a creative process where you consciously design your reality. This is the ultimate empowerment, when your thoughts, feelings, and actions no longer serve the past or those who seek to control you, but instead serve the vision of who you are becoming. The more you practice this, the more you realize that you are no longer a victim of the world around you. You're the creator of your reality. As you rewire your brain, break old cycles, and follow your inner guidance, you unlock your true potential and start living in alignment with the life you were meant to create. The system that once controlled you begins to dissolve, and you step into a new reality defined by freedom, purpose, and possibility. So let me know how many of you are doing that. Let's see how many people are waking up in the comment section. And maybe what are you going through? What have been your challenges, so you can inspire other people to do the same? Because I can only speak from my personal experience that it's so liberating. It comes a time when something within us calls us to go on that path. For me, I experienced that sense of a calling for making art, for starting making these videos. Then it led to coaching and so on. And it's really liberating. So I want to give you 4 practical steps so you can speed up this process, so you can break free from these old limitations. Doesn't matter who is, controlling the system or whatever. The point is that you recognize that you are the solution, that you are the one that can break free from the past. And the first thing you need to do is to challenge all the repetitive patterns that are making you feel stuck. Like identifying your habits, your routines, and mental loops that keep you stuck in the past. Because this could be repetitive thoughts, repetitive behaviors, or environments that reinforce old beliefs onto you. Many times when people start challenging their repetitive patterns, they recognize, for such a long time I actually wanted to move to a new place, or to go to a new country, or to start studying something new, or to follow this artistic path, or whatever. And they felt they can't do it until they've fully decided. And when I did that, I've noticed from the decision to do something like that, it took me more than 1 year to actually doing that, because I needed to save money and I needed to prepare myself, because I knew it will be tough, especially financially. So I needed to make a plan, but then obviously that plan at some point has fallen apart. I did it anyway, and it led me to where I am today. It's very liberating. So by bringing awareness to these patterns, you disturb the automatic thinking that keeps you locked in survival mode. You start challenging small routines, take maybe a new path, new approach, new action. Like sometimes it's just a route to work, or read a different source of information, or try a new activity until you find something that truly speaks to you. You start recognizing that you feel differently. You feel a bit more refreshed. Now imagine that every single day you would start by sitting down, getting into that vision of your future, visualizing yourself reaching these goals, fulfilling these goals of yours, noticing the process of how you've accomplished them, what you were doing, and what kind of actions you could take today if you really sit with this, seeing your goals, seeing the process, and seeing what action will you take in this specific day. You start noticing that a new version of you starts awakening within you. It starts waking up, and it's like your future self would start guiding you towards that future. That's the power of breaking old repetitive patterns and starting to design new ones. So the second part to this is to embrace new learning consistently. Because what I see in most people most frequently is that they come across a book that is really life-changing, and they read it and it inspires them, and then they go back into their old life and eventually they say it didn't work. It didn't work because they haven't been consistent with it. You need to commit yourself to learning new things regularly and then practicing them. Like reading, taking courses, or practicing new skills, whatever it is. You need to be consistent with it. And then keep implementing it. Keep embodying it until you experience results of it. So choose subjects that inspire you or align with your greater purpose. Because if you think about purpose, sometimes people don't understand, like, what is my purpose? But I always remind people, ask yourself what's the most inspiring to you, what inspires you the most. One example from my life, when I was younger and I had no idea I will ever be doing what I'm doing today, is that I always loved hip-hop music. Not just because of rap and lyricism, but because I just felt a sense of inspiration when I was listening to it. Like, they showed me a way of a completely different lifestyle than most people are living. And I always felt like I want to inspire people the same way. Not through hip-hop, but whatever will find me. The point is, I want to inspire people the way that they will have this deep desire to follow their purpose and mission as well. And I had no idea how it will come true, but it came true through, making art, making paintings, and making these videos. My purpose was always, or perhaps my mission was to inspire, and my purpose is to do it through art, through videos, through coaching. So it only happens if we keep learning new things. Music inspired me, so I've studied these artists, and I've noticed they're not smarter, more intelligent. They've just took in life a different path, and I've decided I will take a different path for myself as well. The power is that learning creates new neural pathways, which glitch the old mental patterns that kept you trapped in your past mindset. And consistent learning rewires your brain to be more adaptive, helping you break free from fear-based thinking. And that is so real. You see, most people think it's so scary to change, but the truth is, you just need to stay consistent with learning, because you will notice that while people who are surrounding you are not devoted to change, they are not devoted to progress in life, they are just staying in the loop. But when you study people who are where you want to be, you recognize those people are constantly learning, they're constantly challenging themselves. And when you start identifying yourself like someone who loves learning, someone who loves growth, someone who loves healing and progress and creativity and following intuition, you eventually become that version of you. And then the third part to this process is to start following your intuition and act on inspiration. When you feel inspired, act on it. So when I was listening this music that inspired me, I was wondering, how can I express it? So I've started trying all kinds of different things. At the beginning, I've actually created one Instagram page where I was just making some quotes inspiring. And it was not growing anywhere, but I was taking action with inspiration. And eventually it took me to drawing and painting. And then I felt like I want to truly find out what I want to do. So me and my partner Maya decided to quit our jobs, go to travel, and we said we'll be traveling as long as we find out what we truly want to do. And then that's when my path truly started unfolding, where I've started experiencing incredible glitches, like meeting artists who are making millions with their art and incredible painters. And it was all a sign for me that I want to start painting. And then I've started seeing visions that I've later started painting. You can find all of them on AttractPassion.com. So start listening to your inner voice. There is something that is always speaking to you, but most people ignore it. Act on these ideas that excite or inspire you. Trust your gut feelings and follow the nudges towards something greater. The truth is also that it will often disturb your life completely. This is another glitch. It will feel like your life is falling apart and you will find yourself somewhere in between your new self and the old self. And then it's like the story of a wolf. Who wins? The one you feed, right? Who wins, your future self or your old self? The one you feed the most with your energy. If every single day you sit down, you envision your new self, you ask yourself, what can you do today to get closer to it? What's the process? What process will you embody? What mindset, what emotional, like heart set, will you embody? The results will be that acting on inspiration will move you out of reactive survival mode into a creative one. And this is the biggest shift. You will not be thinking, oh, why it's not happening? Why it's not here yet? You will keep pursuing that dream, that goal, that whatever, and it will put you into a more empowered state where you begin designing a life aligned with your evolving vision and purpose. So when I was at the beginning of my path, I had the biggest struggle with finances, because when we came back home, we were completely broke, but we had that vision. So I kept visualizing myself selling art, making money with it. I had some financial goals for it. I wrote it down. At that time, I was reading the book Think and Grow Rich. And there was one practice where Napoleon Hill suggested to write down a goal amount of money, how much you want to make for, I don't know, a specific project. Write it down and then have it beside your bed. So before you go to sleep, you read it, you visualize it, and you keep remembering what you're giving in return for this money. So what value you're giving in return for this money. And back at that time, I've written down 10,000 euros. Then later, I've opened a company, and later spontaneously someone called us if we would be on for one specific project, and that project was bringing us a contract for exactly 10,000 euros. And that's when I've noticed, oh, there's a great power to this. If I really decide, write it down, you don't know when it will happen. But when it starts happening, you start believing even more. That's the power when you start following this intuition and you act on inspiration. And every single day you keep rereading it, keep rewriting your brain with the possibility. And then the fourth step that I've already mentioned, but I want to go deeper now. Create a vision and take massive action with it. So create a clear vision of the life you want to live, the life you want to come to fruition based on your true desires and calling, which means not something you've seen on Instagram or YouTube, but something you feel. If you ask yourself, what do I truly want? What do I truly want out of my life? Without reacting to what's present right now, ask yourself how you want to live. What are your desires? Your only. What your hearts truly want you to become. And write it down, and then take some time, sit with it, and form a vision of how your life would look if these things would become real. Like I said back at the time, I want to make a living out of doing art that inspires people. However, it will come to fruition. So firstly, I've started making art. Then one day, idea found me. I could start making YouTube videos, combining messages with paintings. And then through time, when people found it inspiring and helpful, people started writing me, are you offering coaching? So we've started doing coaching and so on. That's how your life take you to where you want to be. Sometimes people actually, lose what they've manifested because they lose the discipline with feeding the new self, feeding the new version of themselves. Because sometimes when we manifest something, we get a bit lazy and we fall back into our old identity. So you need to make sure that you don't do that. So create a vision and take then incredible action with it. Follow the plan. The thing is that your brain responds to clear, intentional focus. As you hold a vision and take action towards it, you build new mental and energetic patterns that support this process. Each action strengthens your alignment with this reality, and over time, your external world starts reflecting the changes happening within you. You become the architect of your life, consciously shaping your reality. So, physics have found out that all matter on this third-dimensional plane is informed by energetic field. An energetic field is made out of consciousness, and consciousness is made out of thoughts, emotional energy, and other subtle cosmic vibrations. So what does it mean? It means that as long as you're stuck in a certain loop of thinking and feeling same way every single day, you can't really experience much changes. So your life is constantly happening in a similar way. You need to change the way you think, you need to change the way you feel, and you need to change the way you behave in order to inform the field that surrounds you to manifest in a different way. And that's how you create glitches in your reality. It's quite a powerful thing that starts happening if we really stay persistent with this work and we don't stop studying it. Because the thing is, our brain just much easily fall back into our old patterns than stay stuck in the new ones, or maybe persistent with the new ones. It's just our old programs are so much more powerful than the new ones. So that's why consistent learning, consistent repetition, consistent relearning. Like if there's a book that truly helped you, reread it, keep rereading it. I know a story of Bob Proctor, who always said that the only book he's carrying around is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and every single year he rereads it, I don't know, 5 times or how much he said. Every single year he rereads it. That's how important it is to keep rewiring our brain, keep rewiring our minds, so we can keep feeding that future version of us that is guiding us towards there. So my friends, I hope you found great value in today's video, so you can experience more of these positive glitches in your life and really create a life you desire to live. So let me know in the comment section, what's your favorite practice to do it? As I said, to inspire some people who may be still somewhere in the process, not knowing what to do. Let me know what works for you. And thanks to everyone for choosing to support my art in our store, AttractPassion.com. You can find original paintings, prints of my paintings, products like phone cases, mugs, and so much more. Some guided meditations as well. And also thanks to everyone for joining our Patreon community for more exclusive content. You will also find many guided meditations there. Check it out, the link is in the description of this video. And my friends, till next time, one love.